G'dayo. I have got such a massive May overview, roundup, favorites, whatever, because it's not just fragrances that I wore, but I'm going to be smelling some new fragrances that I've just... Listen, it's been kind of a long month, okay? There are a lot of fragrances I just did not manage to get around to talking about, and I'm just going to talk about them in this video, and a lot of them are going to be updates, of course, on ones that I've already talked about. Like, this box is full of not just like full bottle fragrances, but I've got like 100 decants or something crazy insane in here. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to, I'm probably not going to talk about every single scent that I've smelled on camera this month, because that would take me probably hours, I think. But I am going to touch on some of my favorites from all of the ones I did talk about, especially in my videos where I smelled a bunch of body sprays. I'm just going to touch on some of my favorites from this month of those. So this is going to be a little bit of a different favorites monthly roundup video, I suppose. Okay, so the first one I want to talk about is Khair Pistachio. Now, this is a decant. This was sent to me. I do get some questions about where do you get your decants down in Australia of like Paris Corner and stuff like that. And these ones specifically were sent to me by my mom from the States. So I got 10 mils of Khair Pistachio by Paris Corner this month. And I didn't spray it until I did a video on it, which was only a few days ago, I think. I only did it in this last week. And since then, I've gone through like 5 mils of this stuff, okay? I have really been enjoying Khair Pistachio a lot more than I thought I did. And the best part is that I'll smell it randomly. Like, I'll spray it on a piece of clothing and then I'll go back to like pick it up and put it away or put it in the dirty laundry or whatever, because I'm a mess, multiple days later, and it will still smell like this. So longevity, great. At that point, when it's been on clothing for a few hours, it doesn't last on skin, but I did pick it up on clothing and it leaves more of a powdery nuttiness. It's not quite as gourmand. It doesn't have that gourmand creaminess, that deep creaminess that Kayali's Yum Pistachio Gelato has. But listen, this sucker lasts way longer from my experience, at least on clothing. On skin, it's a bit bad. It's kind of shit. Luckily for me, we are now officially in winter now in Australia, so I'm wearing a lot of clothing and this just goes straight on clothing. I mean, it's not really getting sprayed on a lot of skin, so it lasts pretty well. It's very beautiful. I like it. I will kind of want to buy a bottle, but they're, I think, like 80 Australian dollars down here, so I don't know. But I kind of want to buy it, and then I'll put it on my decant shop. I don't know. I'll have to let you guys know what I end up doing. Of course, any updates, I'll let you guys know. So that was one that I found myself enjoying a lot more than I thought I would. Very happy about Khair Pistachio by Paris Corner. Highly recommend. Just not quite as like creamy, gourmand, yummy as Kayali's Yum Pistachio. Not quite as. I want to include fragrances that have been the most popular for the month in my decant shop. The two that have been the most popular for this month were Paris Corner's Taskeen Caramel Cascade and Badee Oud Honor and Glory. And because I've been decanting so much, which has been really nice because it kind of forces me to revisit fragrances I may not have smelled in a while. So while you guys know how I feel about Taskeen Caramel Cascade, listen, not a huge fan. You guys seem to really like it, so take what I say with a grain of salt. I don't think it's quite as good as Bianco Latte. If you want the real thing, it might be worth just investing in a big decant or something of it. But Badee Oud Honor and Glory. Okay, if you guys have watched my channel for a long time, you know that I've kind of had a tumultuous relationship with this fragrance, because when I first got it, it really wasn't lasting for shit. And I got comments that were like, no, you're obviously going nose blind to it. And I was like, I'm not. Like, people around me also cannot smell it. It's been a few months now since I've had this bottle, opened it, used it. And I will say that this now is like a powerhouse of a fragrance. I'll just get random whiffs of it every now and again. I sprayed it on like a puffer vest that I have and it won't come out. It just now always smells like Badee Oud Honor and Glory, and it smells delightful. The turmeric and creme brulee combination, it's so sweet. It's got a little bit of that tang from the turmeric, which I personally love. I know a lot of people aren't fans of it, but I think it's really great. It's got a deep gourmand creaminess from that creme brulee. It's that fruity pineapple creme brulee, but it's also got turmeric, which like breaks up the sweetness, so it's not overly pungent sweet. It's like a great combination, and it's an unexpected one. And I have really grown to appreciate Honor and Glory a lot more. And you guys also really like this one. When I sell these, I get feedback from you guys, and you guys really love this one. So Caramel Cascade, Badee Oud Honor and Glory, those were my two most popular scents in my decant shop this month, and with good reason. This is a good one, guys. This is a really good one. I've been forced to revisit that one, and yes, it is improved a lot. So the juice that I have now, very long lasting, smells great. I mean, I think it always smelled good. It just needed that time to really deepen. So I wanted to mention those. I'll probably do that going forward and mention like the most popular scents if they change. This is one that I've also revisited quite a few times, obviously not just from decanting it, but I've worn it a few times myself. Teriaq by Lattafa. Listen, it's not for me. It's got a very prominent honey and pink. Is it pink pepper? I think it's pink pepper and honey. Listen, honey for me personally is just a difficult one for me to like. A lot of times it just doesn't quite get that warmth that honey has, that warm sweetness. And it just comes off kind of like a little plasticky to me sometimes. That is an issue with honey and like the ingredient used for honey in general for me personally, just across the board. I almost never love honey when it's really strong in a fragrance, and unfortunately Teriaq kind of falls into that category for me. I've seen some mixed feelings on this one as well from you guys. Some of you seem to be like, I really love it, I love how sweet it is, but then some people are saying it's kind of smoky. Some people are getting a smokiness, which I guess I kind of get that. I guess the pepper kind of comes across as a smokiness. So yeah, I don't know. I tried to wear it a few times. It's okay. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. I wouldn't be upset if I smelled this on someone, and even when I spray it on myself, it's better than nothing. It's not a love. That's all. It's not a love, but I know there's like some mixed feelings on this one. But yeah, I wanted to do an update on this because it's been, I think, a couple of months since I've had this. Okay, here we go. I do have some body sprays in here, of course. Bare Vanilla by Victoria's Secret. If you guys watch my videos on body sprays, I think I referenced Bare Vanilla once and I grabbed it off my shelf. I mean, you can kind of tell how old this juice is. It's very dark. I had smelled it and was like, oh, I'm not sure. I think it might be bad. But I went to smell it later and it smells great. It smells really good. And what I ended up doing was I ended up spraying it like all over my couch, all over some rugs, just to kind of like go through it, I suppose, because I honestly thought it was going bad, but I smelled it again and I was like, I don't know, it's not really going bad. Does it really go bad? I don't know. It's got alcohol. I mean, I've had it for a long time, but I smelled it again later and I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to be in a rush to get rid of this. I'll use it as like, I don't know, spray it on linen, spray it on my couch, spray it on throws, and it smells great. It smells nice and comforting, which is perfect for this time of year. Okay, another body spray I've been very much enjoying, and this one I have been spraying on linen just because I've been wanting to branch out beyond just spraying stuff on myself. I want to spray body sprays on other things. So I've been spraying Dark Velvet Oud by Bath & Body Works. I've been spraying this on bedding. Usually I'll do it like right when it comes out of the wash and it's still a little bit wet. I'll usually spray it on it. I will smell it like a week later. I'll still be smelling it on linen. So Dark Velvet Oud smells really lovely. It's got rose and oud, obviously, and it's got a fruit in there. It's raspberry, rose, and oud. It's not what you would expect from a Bath & Body Works scent. It's actually a really good sweet rose and oud combination. A little bit smoky. The oud is like very digestible. Doesn't have any medicinal properties. It's not off-putting or scary. It's beautiful. It's just a beautiful blend of oud and sweetness and rose, and I sprayed it on my linen and it smells great, and I smell it many days later. I just do it when it's wet, and I find that it lasts longer on things. I don't know the science behind that. Maybe you guys can explain it to me. So yeah, Dark Velvet Oud. Is this one over in the States yet? I don't know. You have to let me know. Okay, so the next one I wore this month was Yara Moi by Lattafa. This is another one that I revisited. One, because it is my favorite Yara. Of all three Yaras, Yara Moi is my favorite. It's patchouli and caramel. Listen, if you don't like patchouli, maybe you wouldn't like it, but it's very sweet. It's very sweet patchouli, slightly powdery, luscious caramel. Oh my God, I love it so much. I wore this recently to, I don't know, we went to an Indian restaurant recently and I wore it and I sprayed it all over, and by the time we got back, I still smelled great. I liked it. Every time I decant this, it makes me happy. When you guys order this, it makes me very happy because I get to smell it all over again. Great for winter. That's partially also why I've been whipping out a lot of these. I'm just revisiting scents that I've been waiting for this cold weather to get stuff like this out. I think it's a really great cold weather scent with that heavy caramel and patchouli. Yara Moi. Love her. There are some fragrances that I also got secondhand. So my favorite thing is when I can find some really good gems on like Depop or something, people who are just trying to get rid of scents, and it's on my wish list and I'm able to get it at a lower price. Even if the bottle is only like half full, it's totally fine. Like I've said it a million times, I don't normally need a full bottle of something unless I really, really love it, or maybe it doesn't last very long and I'll go through it really quickly. But Prada Candy Gloss is one of those. I bought this month off of Depop. It was on my wish list for many months after I had smelled it at Chemist Warehouse one day, and I was like, there's no way I can justify buying such a small bottle for, I don't even remember how much it was, like $100 or something. I was like, I can't for an EDT. I'm not doing it. And I found this for a pretty reasonable price. It's got sour cherry in the top. It's got peach, it's got orange blossom, and then you've got that very classic Prada candy DNA where it's got that almond and like that almondy powderiness in the base. It's got almond, benzoin, musk, very typical Prada candy, but you just got some sour cherry in there. You got some extra fruitiness. It's not the longest lasting, I will admit, okay? It's an EDT for what it's worth, but I think it smells really good. It's a powdery cherry. It's a powdery, warm, sour cherry. Can it be warm and sour? I think so. Because you've got the benzoin, you've got powderiness from the almond, and you got the cherry. It doesn't last very long, but it was cheap enough. It makes me happy when I wear it. There you go. Prada Candy Gloss. Okay, the next one I was able to nab secondhand was Paco Rabanne Olympea. This is just the OG Olympea, not a flanker, even though I do love a lot of the flankers. They're on my list, like Olympea Solar. That one's like probably my favorite Olympea flanker. I don't own any full bottles. Like I said, it's very rare that I own like a proper bottle of a designer fragrance just because of the cost down here. They're just very expensive. I like Olympea. I think it's a great combination of salty vanilla. It's a little bit warm. It's got jasmine in there. It's very feminine and happy and warm and bright and salty. I think when I first smelled Olympea, I didn't love it, but I think having this nicely aged juice maybe changes it a little bit. The vanilla is more developed. It's a lot richer and warmer in the vanilla. I think it better offsets the heavy salt, which I think might put a lot of people off, but I like it. It's not my favorite Olympea. There are flankers that I definitely enjoy more, but I think it's good. It's a classic. I think this will definitely be a classic for a very long time. And I was like, you know what? I need to have a bottle. I need to have a bottle of Olympea. It's just one of those it's good to have, I reckon. I enjoy her, and I think once it warms up, I'm excited to wear this. I have a lot of decants. As you guys know, I buy a butt ton of decants. I buy a lot. I have a lot sent to me. I try my best to make a video when I smell decants, but sometimes it's just not feasible, okay? So one of the decants that I got this month sent to me was a 10 ml of Ariana's Thank You Next 2.0. And if you guys watch my video where I rate all Ariana fragrances, the only one I didn't have was Thank You Next 2.0. Okay, first of all, I really like Thank You Next 2.0. It's a really nice sweet wood, and I love sweet woods. You guys know I'm a sucker for sweet woods. Oh my god. So in this one, you've got apple, you've got pomegranate, you've got strawberry. So lots of fruitiness with a strong sandalwood facet, and that for me is like the makings of a fragrance I love. I love a good strong wood with a sweetness, with a fruit in there. It's got some added delicate notes like wild orchid and marshmallow. And listen, I am due to redo that tier list, that Ariana Grande tier list. So that's part of the reason why I really wanted this one. I now have every single Ariana Grande fragrance, including Frankie. I actually rebought decants, like 5 ml decants of Frankie Cloud 2.0, which, I bought another 5 ml of Cloud 2.0. You guys know that this was one of my favorite fragrances of last year, and it is just so good. Like, I really am sad that they don't still sell Cloud 2.0 because this is just an improved Cloud. Oh my god, it's just a better version of Cloud. If you can get your hands on Cloud 2.0, it's just better. I don't get that plasticiness like I do in the original Cloud with that coconut. No, to me, Cloud 2.0, way better. It's probably my favorite Ariana Grande fragrance, so I re-upped on that. And to prep for doing that that tier list. I've been revisiting a lot of her fragrances. So Ari, the original Ari, maybe I rated it a little bit too low in my original tier list because I've been wearing it and the juice is almost gone here. So I don't know, maybe I'll just buy a full bottle. But the one that is really like has me in a chokehold right now is R.E.M. R.E.M. is her most unique fragrance for sure. It's got a really light powdery sweetness. It's got zephyr, and it's got salt. It's the combination of the salt and the lavender that it just does it for me. I don't know. It's the lavender, it's the caramel, it's the salt, the zephyr note in there too. It's such a unique, like light, powdery sweetness. But then you've got that saltiness. It's her most unique scent. And also maybe one, I don't remember what I rated this. Whatever I rated it, I don't even know. I don't know if I rated it highly enough. The only downside is it didn't last very long. As with a lot of her scents, unfortunately, not super long lasting, but R.E.M., I wouldn't say it's underrated, but I think I underrated it. That one's got me in a chokehold at the moment. I really enjoy it. I might have to buy a full bottle. I don't know. There's some other fragrances that I bought brand new this month that I have not yet talked about. One of them is Black Origami by Maison Alhambra. This is their dupe of Black Orchid by Tom Ford. This has got such a beautiful dark chocolate, smoky dark chocolate. This is another example of a Tom Ford dupe by Maison Alhambra where I prefer the dupe. So this one, yeah, you've got truffle, you've got lang lang, jasmine. In the heart, of course, you've got the orchid, but the base notes, the dry down, the base notes are what stands out in this. You've got Mexican chocolate, patchouli, incense. Oh my God. It is so sultry. It is sultry. It's sexy. It is very like clean cut. This is like black tie. This is black tie event. If I was like really trying to impress, dressing really nicely for like a night out, like long gown, Black Origami, this is something I would wear in the winter. Oh my God. You know what? It's been a long time since I smelled Black Orchid by Tom Ford. I don't remember liking it, but this one, Black Origami by Maison Alhambra, I don't know how they make it a little more digestible. I think what I didn't like about Tom Ford's Black Orchid is like some of their scents, they're just a bit too dirty. The same thing with Tobacco Vanille. That's another example where I prefer the Maison Alhambra version because it's just not as dirty. I mean, you could say it's a little more mass appealing. I don't know. It's just too dirty for me. To me, it just doesn't smell as good. So, and this is another case of that. I prefer Maison Alhambra's over Tom Ford's Black Orchid. I don't know. Sue me. I'm sorry, Mr. Ford. I'm sorry. What's another one? Okay, here we go. Here's another one I visited. Raghba. I don't know why. Did I decant this one? I can't remember why I revisited this one. So in Raghba, you've got oud, you've got incense, you've got sugar, vanilla. I don't know. For me, it's kind of one-dimensional. I was hoping that it would really deepen up and thicken, but even time hasn't really improved it the way I would have liked, just based on the notes. You've got vanilla, you've got incense, you've got wood, sugar. I don't know. I just feel like I want it to be deeper. It's still kind of a bright sweetness, so it's not really that thick sweetness that I was hoping for, and I was hoping for it to change into. I don't know, maybe it's just not for me. It's not bad. I still like it and I enjoyed it when I sprayed it, but it just seems a bit flat. I don't know, it just seems a bit flat. It seems like kind of generic, like it's not anything special. I don't know, I'm sorry. I think this is probably a great one to layer with other things on top, but by itself, not my favorite, but I'll have to play around with layering this one. I reckon if I really wanted to smoke something up a little bit more, maybe smoke it up, sweeten it up a little bit, I probably would maybe spray Raghba on top, but just by itself, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, it's not blowing my tits off, all right? Oh my God, I feel like this video is going to be like 2 decades long. Okay, noteworthy decants that I smelled this month. Candy Yum Yum by MAC. It's okay. You know what? I actually wasn't super impressed by Candy Yum Yum by MAC. I was expecting kind of a stronger sweetness out of it, actually. I like it. It's a little cleaner. It's more aquatic of a sweetness than I was expecting. It's got a very juicy guava note in there. It's actually not super sweet. It's got cotton candy in the base, but it's not overwhelming. You know what? It is pretty good. Maybe I was too hard on it. It is pretty good. I think I was too hard on it, actually. I've just changed my mind. I really like it. I don't love it. It's a great depiction. I think this is a great scent representation of MAC's Candy Yum Yum. It's very good. I don't know why. Oh, I think I was just expecting the cotton candy to be stronger. Am I not smelling it very well? I don't know. It's still very sweet, just not that kind of like sticky sweetness that I think I was expecting. So I don't know. It's still very good. Still very good. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. MAC's Candy Yum Yum. Pretty good. 4 out of 5. Another noteworthy body spray, PHLUR's Moonstone. So in PHLUR's Moonstone, you've got a lot of fruit in there. You've got apple, you've got pineapple, you've got jasmine, you've got sandalwood in the base. I think this is my favorite PHLUR scent that I've ever smelled. That's not really saying much because I haven't smelled all of them or even a lot of them. But I think of the ones that I have smelled, so like vanilla skin, dragon fruit, mango, there's the mango one, I don't remember what's called. Moonstone I think is my favorite. It's got a nice crisp sweetness from the apple. It's a very fresh, this is great for summer, it's a very fresh sweetness, got pineapple in there, lemon zest. I don't know, this is like, I would, if it's a hot day, I'm jumping out of the shower, I'm spraying this on. I'm spraying this in my hair, all over my neck, all over my body. I don't know, it's just a great fresh fruity body spray. I really enjoy it. It's not anything super groundbreaking, but that's fine. It's very good. It's just what it is. It's very good. And I think it's my favorite one from them so far that I have smelled. Oh, here we go. You know what? I'll just mention this one too. Frankie by Ariana Grande. This one actually, see, I'm so glad I'm now revisiting these because maybe I was too harsh on Frankie. It's still a very feminine scent. It's very powdery. It's got a strong wood facet in there. So in Frankie, you've got pink pepper, you've got apricot, cedar, you've got a strong cedar and sandalwood, you've got wild orchid, so you've got a powderiness from the orchid, it's a little musky, you've got a strong cedar facet, you've got that pink pepper in there which adds like a little bit of a bite, but it's still pretty feminine. Even though it's marketed as a unisex fragrance, I think it's actually still quite feminine. Mr. Zuri, I even asked him about it, he said he wouldn't wear it. I think the magic for me with Frankie was on the dry down. On the dry down, maybe because I'm not a huge fan of pink pepper, so really when that pink pepper fades is when I really enjoy this scent. When it dries down to just a beautiful powdery wood, a powdery cedar that is incredibly enjoyable for me. It kind of reminds me of why I love like something like Miu Miu Twist. I'm not saying they're comparable, but it's just that it just gives me that same powdery vibe. I think it just reminds me of Miu Miu Twist because it's that kind of same uplifting, bright, powdery woodiness. It's not a deep scent. It's still very airy and fluffy and fun. It's just not unisex in my opinion. I think it's still very feminine. Although with that being said, you wear what you want. If I were to smell this on a dude, I think it would smell pretty good. So again, maybe not a safe blind buy, especially for the price. My God. If you're a collector of her scents, then yeah, knock yourself out. I wouldn't like go out of your way to get it. If you can get a decant, great. But I think it's just maybe I was a little bit too harsh on Frankie. I think I was a little bit too harsh. I think if I were to go back and rate it now, which I will, it's not as bad as I remember. I think the dry down is way more beautiful once that pink pepper fades. That's where it wins me over, is the dry down. Oh, here is another body spray, Mco Beauty number 3. Mco Beauty number 3. I'm pretty sure this is meant to be duping Sol De Janeiro 68. I think the dragon fruit jasmine. I think I wore it because I was like, well, I have these. Even though none of the other Sol De Janeiro scents other than the 71 scent profile I really enjoy. I was like, you know what? I'll just whip out number 3. I'll spray it and it's okay. It's, I don't know. It's kind of reminds me of a sweet yogurt. I don't even know. Why does it smell like a sweet yogurt to me? I'm not really sure, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's a little bit too harsh on it. Just internally, I suppose. Not one that I would reach for often. It's okay. Number 3, again, the thing with these Mco Beauty body sprays is that they don't last very long, compared to the originals. But it was all right for just like, a cheapie. They're not bad. Also, that reminds me, I also did buy the Mco Beauty. They just came out with dupes of the Sol De Janeiro lotions, like the body lotions. I don't know. I don't really like them that much. That's just me being honest. Honestly, I prefer Bath and Body Works lotions over the Mco Beauty Sol De Janeiro dupes. That's just me. Although Sol De Janeiro 71. Listen, people, it's getting cold. I am really enjoying revisiting lots of these warm, gourmand scents, and 71 is no exception. I love that it smells like popcorn. It smells like caramel corn, kettle corn. It smells delicious. I want to eat it. I want to drink it. Don't do that. But yeah, I wore this one a couple of times and it smelled really great. I think I was layering it with something and I don't remember what. I don't know. Oh my God, that's right. I was layering it with, I'm pretty sure I tried to layer it with Honor and Glory by Lattafa, but I mean, I don't really smell it for very long. That's the problem. So hard to assess a scent when it doesn't last very long and it just gets completely overwhelmed by like an eau de parfum. You know what I mean? Here we go. Another one that I wore a few times, and so did Mr. Zuri. Khamrah Qahwa by Lattafa. I forgot how fucking good this is. It is perfect. Khamrah Qahwa is just takes Khamrah. I am pretty confident in saying this now. Khamrah Qahwa is an improved version of the original Khamrah. To me, at least, it takes that warm, spicy amber, adds the coffee, and it's just more refined. It's just a more refined version of Khamrah. Adding that coffee, I don't remember any of the other notes that they changed, but Khamrah Qahwa is a goddamn masterpiece. Khamrah Qahwa is a masterpiece. This is like gotta be one of my favorite scents. I think of this year, this definitely will be one of my favorites. God, it's just so good. Like, what the heck? So if you're for some reason not familiar with Khamrah Qahwa, you've got cinnamon and cardamom in the top. You've got a little bit of ginger. You do have like the ever so slightest bite. It's not overwhelming. Top notes are not overwhelming. Don't worry. You've got a sweetness. You've got praline and fruit. You've got coffee, tonka bean, benzoin. Oh my God. It not only smells amazing, it is perfectly unisex. This is a genderless fragrance. Anyone can wear this and rock it. It's sexy, it's warm, it's deliciously gourmand. It lasts for decades. Like, I will smell this forever. Like, I've got stuff that I've revisited jackets from like, I don't even know when, and it'll still smell like this from God knows when. I don't even know. But it lasts ages. Oh my God, this is just one of those ones, you guys. This is definitely going to be one of my favorites of the year. Like, for sure. I'm already telling you right now, this is going to be in my yearly favorites. It's got to be. Khamrah Qahwa. So good. There is nothing I would change about this. I don't think there's a single thing I would change. Here's kind of a funny one. Black Opium. The original Black Opium, just the EDP, not a flanker. I don't know. I think I'm just doing a little nod to Black Opium because I compared it this month to Maison Alhambra's Opera Noir, which I was impressed with. I wore them both this month. Opera Noir has pretty good longevity. Listen, I think we've all smelled Black Opium probably about 1,000,000,001 times, right? Just in our lives, just incidentally. I hadn't smelled it in a while, and I smelled it again, and I was like, damn, the coffee in there is so much better. I'm sorry, the coffee note in Black Opium is better compared to Opera Noir. I'm sorry, it just doesn't get that coffee quite right. It's not quite as creamy. Granted, I think I mentioned this, that the juice I have of Black Opium is quite a bit darker, so that vanilla has had more time to age and mature. But I don't know, I just smelled it and I was like, damn, this is a good fragrance. And I wore it a couple of times from my decant here. Sprayed it a couple of times just because I don't know. I hadn't smelled it in a while. So, I don't know. This is just a little nod to Black Opium. You're still pretty good, all right? Oh. So, one that I really loved, I don't have the decant of it. Oh, no, here it is. Pink Obsessed by Bath & Body Works. I loved this one. I wore it a couple of times this month and was absolutely living for it. This is a dupe of Donna Born in Roma. I absolutely love the heavy jasmine in here. Heavy, sweet, slightly powdery jasmine for a body spray. Like, just ignoring the fact that it's, duping a high-end designer scent. It is like really effing good. But this one I have worn a few times, okay? Pink Obsessed, that's definitely one of my favorites of all of the recent dupes by Bath & Body Works. They did a whole line of a bunch of like designer dupes. All of them are pretty good, you guys. Like, don't always be knocking these body sprays because they're a lot better than they used to be, especially Bath & Body Works. They have really stepped it up. So love Pink Obsessed, love that one. Another one that I really enjoyed. So this was another one, Lost in Santal. Oh my, this is another one I'm living for. I love it. First sniff, love. Absolute love at first sniff, Lost in Santal. This is a dupe of Le Labo Santal 33. I need to do a video on Le Labo. I keep saying that, but it's really hard to get a discovery set down here for like an affordable price. They're super expensive. I don't know, maybe I need to look again. It's interesting that it's compared to Book by Commodity because it definitely smells like heavy paper. Sandalwood, cedarwood, cardamom, satin. Absolute love. Love at first sniff. I can see why people might not like it though. Smells great. Unfortunately, I didn't get to wear this one this month, so I can't say the longevity on it. It is a body spray for what it's worth, but I think I need to get myself a discovery set from Le Labo because why the hell? I need to smell it now because I am freaking in love with this Bath and Body Works one with that heavy sandalwood. I'm in love with it. I just adore it. Guys, I have way too many decants. This is not healthy. Oh, I also tested Turquatic. It's okay. It didn't last very long. It's a very watery lemon, cedar, very watery lemon and cedar. It's a little bit sweet. It's not like super bitter or anything, but I wasn't super impressed by it. It smells okay. Although I do feel like there's something in it that when I smell it too much, I feel that like headache reflex a little bit. It's okay. It's not super complex. I think maybe for the price, I probably wouldn't buy this. This was, fortunately, this was a gift to me, this really small bottle. This one is 20 mils. Oh my god. Okay, another one that I have to talk about. Bath and Body Works iced lemon pound cake. This does smell kind of similar to Sol De Janeiro 71. It doesn't have that nuttiness though, but oh my god, the butteriness, they get it so good. It does smell just like frosting with a little bit of lemon. In my opinion, forget the strawberry one, the strawberry pound cake, forget about it. The iced lemon pound cake, the winner. This is definitely one of my favorite body sprays like of all time. Of all time, this is so good. If you love like super buttery frosting with like a little bit of fruit. But the thing with the lemon is that it's the perfect amount. It's not too much lemon. It's like just the perfect amount of lemon that cuts through like that butteriness. Unfortunately, I don't think the whole range of iced lemon pound cake is available here in Australia. So otherwise, I would definitely pick up like the whole line of iced lemon pound cake. I would get all of it. I would get all of them because they smell that freaking good. If you love that super buttery frosting with a little bit of fruitiness, this will blow your tits off. It blew my tits off. Okay, some other noteworthy body sprays. Bahamas, passion fruit, and banana flower. I said in that video where I talked about this, for some reason the banana flower in here is like nostalgic. I don't know why, but it reminds me of the 90s. It reminds me of like the 90s or the early 2000s. I don't know if there was a popular scent during that time that had a strong banana flower note, but it just smells nostalgic. And one of you guys left a comment that was like, oh my god, I feel the exact same way. I don't know what it is, but the banana flower in here, it makes me feel like a kid again. It's very sweet, fun, passion fruit. It is very sweet though. It's like toothache sweet. But the banana flower in there, it's like waxy. I don't know. There's just something so oddly nostalgic about it. I don't know what it is. So that one, noteworthy. To be honest, a lot of these like destination ones, so Costa Rica, Pink Pineapple Sunrise, Waikiki Beach Coconut. The other one that I really like, Thailand, Sweet Kiwi and Starfruit. All of these I loved. All of these were pretty freaking good. Even considering, even Waikiki Beach Coconut, which if you guys know me, you know I'm not a huge fan of like fruity coconut, like that fruity tropical coconut. I much prefer like that warm coconut, warm vanilla-y coconut. This I like. This is probably one of the rare exceptions of like fruity coconut that I like. Waikiki Beach Coconut by Bath and Body Works. I really like this one. I'm excited to wear all of these once it gets warmer. Another scent that I have not yet smelled, but I want to because I want to smell it on camera, okay? This is just one I'm going to get out of the way now. I bought Thouq. I bought Thouq by Lattafa, is that how you say it? I bought it because a lot of you guys were like, you gotta try it. Apparently it's smells similar to Delina Exclusive, which I am in love with Delina Exclusive. So you guys were recommending it. It's compared often to Delina Exclusive. So I was like, you know what? Frick it. I got it for a pretty good price, considering it's actually part of the Lattafa Pride line. Okay. This is very extra, but maybe the shape of it, you kind of have to be careful with how it's packaged. Okay, here we go. So I unlock it by turning it that way. Okay, here it is. Oh, the bottle is absolutely stunning, the bottle. Is that enjoyable for you guys? I don't know. You've got bergamot and lychee in the top. In the heart, you've got rose and incense, of course. And in the dry down, you've got amber and vetiver. So I don't remember vetiver being in Delina Exclusive. Delina Exclusive does not have vetiver. Also, Thouq does not claim to have oud. Delina Exclusive has oud. Okay, so this doesn't have oud? Really? It doesn't have oud. That's crazy. Okay, I'll go grab my decant of Delina Exclusive in a moment. I want to smell this first. Oh, no. Oh, no, the lid is like damaged. It's got like a little ding in it. How would that happen? It was completely protected. Oh, whatever. Who cares? So what's the date on here? Package date 2022. 11/2022. So November 2022. So this is nearly 2 years old, you guys. Well, nearly. Whatever. Obviously, it hasn't been opened. It's a little screechy. It does have that beautiful rose and okay, the rose and the incense, beautiful. Okay, the incense is really great. I don't know if I like the vetiver in the base. I feel like that kind of throws me off a bit. It also doesn't have vanilla, so it's kind of missing that creaminess that you get in Delina Exclusive. Let me go grab Delina Exclusive. Yeah, it's just softer. You've got a little bit more of that rounded warmth from the vanilla. I do think the oud adds something really beautiful that I think maybe Thouq is missing. I don't know. Thouq just smells like kind of screechy to me. It's just I feel that headache reflex as well. I don't know. I'll let it chill. I will let it cook. This is not obviously my final judgment of this fragrance. This is just my first impression off initial spray. I've just popped this sucker open. It isn't a brand new bottle though. It is nearly a 2-year-old, 1.5-year-old bottle. So at least there's that. But now that I've opened it and sprayed it a few times, we'll let her chill. I will add this one to my decant shop if you guys want to try this. So I'll add this one as well. I think what I'll do is I'll also add my Maison Alhambra, my 30 ml bottles. My black origami though, I kind of want to hog it, I'm not gonna lie. And then the reason why I got that one for such an affordable price, I actually picked it up with Harem El Sultan Silver. It was $100 for both, which down here is pretty good, especially for a Lattafa Pride fragrance. So obviously everyone knows and loves Harem El Sultan Gold, right? But what about Harem El Sultan Silver? Actually, my plan is to do a full video on all 3 Harem El Sultan perfume oils. So there is a blue as well. So I also have not smelled this one. So let's smell it. Beautiful. Just as beautiful as the gold, of course. We've got rose and white musk in the top. In the heart, you've got lang lang and rosemary, and in the base, you've got oud and amber. So lang lang and rosemary, very interesting combination, yeah? The bottle is gorgeous. Wait, why does that kind of work with the rosemary? Hold on, I'm gonna try and get this on a blotter. Yeah, the rose is not like a little bit of it's kind of a sweet rose, actually. It's a little bit sweet. I think I just love lang lang, guys. I love the lang lang in here. The rosemary in here isn't too strong. I feel like it's not jarring if you're afraid of that. It's like a cool fragrance. It's kind of a cool fragrance. It's more, I think the lang lang, I get more of like a jungle when I smell lang lang. It just makes me think of a jungle. This is definitely the green leaves to Harem El Sultan Gold's fruit. So you've got the green leaves from the silver and the fruit from the gold. But this juicy lang lang, I'm living for it. I love it. It's got musk in the top. I'm not feeling the feeling, you know what I mean? This one's not giving me any kind of like headache, which is great. I'm wearing this one now. I'm putting it on. I don't get a strong oud. I'm wondering if with the dry down, if the oud will get stronger. I've just put it on my wrist here, so I'm gonna wait for it to dry down a little bit. Okay, on the skin, I get the rosemary a little bit more. So it's leaning a bit more green and herbal slightly. Because remember, you don't have any fruit in this. So if you're someone who really loves R.E.M El Sultan Gold, don't go getting silver thinking you're getting the same experience. Because this, I feel like, is not. This is more of like a bitter green lang lang. It's weird. I feel like the rose is not as strong as the lang lang. Okay, I think I'm gonna sit on this one. I'm gonna wear it. Maybe I'll even try layering it. It hasn't won me over immediately as much as the gold, but I'll still do a video on it, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Oh, here we go. One more scent. One more thing I wore that I almost completely forgot about. Pink Sugar Creamy Sunshine. I have this tester. I got it for $4 from Chemist Warehouse. They were selling testers for a charity, and I picked it up for $4 and I wore it. Listen, it's pretty good. It doesn't last very long. It is an EDT. It's a little synthetic and it's kind of childish, but it's fun. So in this one, you have tiare flower. You do have lang lang. You've got a lot of orange, you've got a lot of citrus, and you've got heavy vanilla facet. So it makes it creamy, but it's not really much like the original Pink Sugar. I think this does stand as its own fragrance pretty well. It's also got coconut in the top, which I actually like this coconut in here because it's a very warm fragrance overall. I mean, look at that vanilla, well-developed vanilla. So because of that, I like it. It's still got the caramel in the base. It's young and fun. And for $4, I mean, I got it for $4 for this much juice. I mean, you can't really go wrong with this one. I'm still a sucker for Pink Sugar flankers because Pink Sugar for me is just, it's a nostalgic one. I wore it when I was younger. And so the flankers, if it resembles Pink Sugar, it just makes me happy. It's just going to be one of those fragrances where even if it's not that technically good, maybe it's not super innovative or groundbreaking or whatever, these Pink Sugars, they're always going to make me happy. I think that's just how it's always going to be, and I will always appreciate scents like Creamy Sunshine. So that one, really enjoying that. I'm probably forgetting some things. I don't think I touched on every single body spray that I talked about this month. It would just be too many. This video would be literally hours. If you have not checked out my decant shop for Australia, if you are American, I will link my mom's decant shop. She has a lot of fragrances that I don't have. She sells a lot of Middle Eastern scents at a very reasonable price, so I will link her decant shop as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and you will see me in the next one.